All right, cinch those belts tight. It's time for the unlimited wild card. Here we go, more racing from Lake Washington. And it's really quite simple. There are going to be 5 boats battling in this race. They're all fighting for one single spot. And that winner will make the final. That's why they call it the wild card.
The Unlimited Wildcard Heat is brought to you by Comcast High-Speed Internet. Now with download speed options up to 50 megs. Call 1-800-COMCAST. And is presented by Seafair, celebrating 60 years.
So here is your lineup. The Miss Albert Lee Graham Trucking. We just got laid word that Dave Williams and the U9 team, Jones Racing, is out of the wild card. So that leaves 4 boats. There's Leland Unlimited with Greg Hopp, and then the Buffalo Federal Savings, Ken Muscatel, again trying to get some seat time in that boat. Taking a look out at the course with 3.5 minutes to go and 90 degrees. Thank you, Comcast, for warming it up. Wind speed says calm. Water light chop as it has been much of the day, but it'll get churned up out there as we get set here to take a look. And KJR joins us, KJR Radio, as well as KIROTV.com. So here we go, racing, and here are the men and the machines. In the Albert Lee boat, Brian Perkins is the pilot, Chip.
He is. He doesn't look like he can get his head on quite straight, but he can sure drive a race boat plenty straight. Right now they're building a team. They don't have any illusions of doing great with this boat they have, but you watch out next year with this Whirlpool Albert Lee team.
Like his sister, he's looking to make it to the finals of the big boys race here. The Graham Trucking team, J. Michael Kelly, and Michael, this young man is pretty stuck on 4th place finishes.
May still have a few cobwebs after that blowover in Tri-Cities, but this is probably the strongest of the fleet of the 4 boats in this one, and J. Michael certainly would love to get back on the horse, as it were, and make a final heat.
Guard, how about that? Climbing back in the saddle?
Yeah, and I just talked to a couple of guys down here, and this camp right now, Steve, is a little disappointed. They just said every heat that they've been in has felt like a final heat, and they just said their draws have just been kind of unlucky, and that's the way they're feeling right now, but they're pretty confident going into this one.
Well, that is rebuilding a boat in about 36 hours. All right, thanks, Guard. How about David Williams? As we said, he won't be racing. He's pulled the boat out of the Unlimited Wild Card. So we'll move on to the Mirage boat, which is Greg Hopp, and he's looking to climb into the cockpit and race in the final race, Jim.
You never want to count Fred Leland and Greg Hopp out. Remember, Fred Leland was the team that flipped and won, so you just can't count them out.
And Jenny Hogan, you've been following this team for the last half hour or so.
Yeah, a little excitement when he left, guys. The motor just started smoking and everyone burst off the edge of the water here. We all ran away because we thought there was a fire, but the crew told me, no, it's just a little oil leak. It's not great, but it's not bad either. So I'm a little smoked out here, but apparently it's not too bad.
Is there any such thing as a little oil leak?
Well, I guess so. There's no mosquitoes down there, right?
No mosquitoes, that's true. And finally, Ken Muscatel. And it would be fun to see Ken Muscatel in a final and in his brand new boat, Mike.
Well, it is a brand new boat. He's working out the bugs, and you know he isn't going to jeopardize anything here. There's a lot of season left for him to race. I'm sure he'd like to head on over to Doha and participate in that. He worked so hard to get that race put together over there. So I think that Ken, if he feels like he can race it, he'll race it. If he doesn't, he'll score some points just because it feels good to score points at Seafair. But don't look for him to try to break anything here. He can't afford to do that.
Well, let's find out about the fastest boat out there. Patrick.
Jack in the Box congratulates a boat that was upside down last Sunday in Pasco, and today in this heat it's the fastest qualifier at 146.935. The Graham Trucking with J. Michael Kelly and Jack in the Box is the place where you can get anything on the menu any time of day.
And J. Michael is going to be in the 2 lane. It looks like the Whirlpool presents the Miss Albert Lee. With Brian Perkins, we'll have the inside lane. 2 lane is going to be Graham Trucking. He tightens down on that lane as well. Greg Hopp in lane number 3 on the outside coming down. Kenny Muscatel, here they come with just 6 seconds left on the clock. And they're coming a little early. Now, I still had digits this time, too, but I'm not saying anything. There goes Greg Hopp across the line and heads down into the first corner, and just inside of him is J. Michael.
It looked to me like J. Michael was kind of veering to the right. I drew on the telestrator there to show where he's moving out. It's called bearing out, trying to move your guy to the outside, but it didn't look like it worked.
I understand the start is under review, and probably it should be, but down the back chute, Greg Hopp doing it for Fred Leland. This one's for Fred. He'd like to make the final heat. He, of course, has a final heat also in the Unlimited Lights coming up as well, so he is a busy man right now, and they're getting a real good boat race out there. Great corner by J. Michael Kelly here as he pulls alongside the 100 boat, and here they come down to the start-finish line for the end of lap number 1, and it's a real strong finish it is with both of the boats virtually side by side.
140 for the U100 and 138 for J. Michael Kelly.
And again, remember the officials are reviewing things into the corner. He's leaving him just enough lane. Well, now looks like Hopp goes a little wider than perhaps he should have there.
Well, he's trying to avoid those parallel rollers we've been talking about all day. But let's also state that they're fighting to be the provisional. That means that if they make the final, they have to start 5 seconds back. And we also just found out that Greg Hopp in the Mirage Boat U100 did indeed jump the gun.
Well, that moves Brian Perkins then legally into second place. Physically is running third off the corner now. And we should see a white flag up for the Graham Trucking now as he comes down to the start-finish line. He'll have one more to go. There's the white showing. And, of course, Greg Hopp is going to keep the pressure on simply because he knows this is an opportunity to race his boat and air it out a little bit, knowing full well, of course, that he can't win this because he's virtually a lap down, although he's side by side with the physical leader. Again, through the corner this time, Pat, it looks as though Mr. Hopp is still racing.
Yeah, he's putting on a show, but you know, J. Michael turned that second lap at 143. He's moving very well out there.
Well, he's going to need all of that when he comes to the starting line if he wins this heat in the final heat to be able to catch the other guys because they have been running a bit faster. Well, Mr. Hopp is still working him side by side, but unfortunately for that maroon and dark boat, she's not going to have a chance to do anything as far as winning is concerned. It's the red and white from Miss Budweiser Hall now. That Graham Trucking with J. Michael Kelly, one of the best drivers we've seen coming up the ranks. He gets the checkered flag. Hopp has to go one more, but it doesn't really matter because that doesn't place him in the final in any event. J. Michael Kelly not making it easy. He had to really race for it, and of course, when that kind of thing happens, Chip, of course, your radio guys tell you, well, the other guy has had an infraction, and yet he keeps hanging around you. You wonder, well, what's going on here? Is that right or not right? You can't afford to err on the side of, yeah, he must have had an infraction and back off.
That's kind of exciting for J. Michael Kelly, you know, because he was, as I mentioned, he was upside down at Pasco, had his heart broken that day because so many fans there to see him run, and today he does get that wild card dealt to him, and he says, yeah, this is a winner. He'll have to be the trailer boat in the final, but he's in the final, and that's great for him, great for his team.
And Mike, let me pass on that Chip had to don his racing gear and head down because he's in this demonstration ride in just a couple of moments in that fabulous Boeing boat, and we'll be taking you to the waters there in just a moment. But again, still life breathing for J. Michael Kelly, and he gets to drive again against the big boys in the final coming up as he wins, but he has a place as a trailer. And remind everybody what that means, Michael.
Well, that means he has to start rooster tail back from the front line, if you will. Only one time in the history of unlimited hydroplane racing has anybody managed to win from that position. That would be Michael Hansen driving the Frosted Flakes 1993 down in San Diego on Mission Bay when he was the trailer boat. Everybody in front of him either ran afoul with the rules or had some kind of mechanical problem on that hot afternoon, and somehow or other Michael Hansen weaved his way through the carnage and the accused and found himself at the front line to take the checkered flag for the Madison, Indiana team.
Mike, is it too I don't know, crazy a thing to say, but with the limited resources and all that a lot of these teams have, to do what the Graham Trucking team did, to put this boat back together after that blowover in the Tri-Cities and get it to run pretty well today and now making the final, that's quite a job by those guys.
Well, they're winners no matter what. They're winners. I mean, they came and they had, you know, the all-nighters, and as you heard Rob Graham talking about having to run in shifts to get the thing ready to go. Got it into the pits late Friday afternoon, didn't get it qualified till Saturday. Worked their tails off to make the boat competitive and respectable, and I think it's rather incredible. And they know that whether or not they win the final, which is an unlikely probability, their weekend was a good one.
You know, Mike, I saw when they pulled it out of the water in Pasco. I was standing next to it. That whole front elevator thing, those two wings.